Yesterday, I took this statement to everyone I know in law enforcement, including thousands of strangers on the internet, and I asked everyone who's credible if they find this statement to be possible. They all had a lot to say about it, a lot of words, a lot of dark humor. No one who knows what they're talking about, no one who's worked at the border, been to the border in the last 12 months. Not at all. So let's just assume, even though that's not what she said, let's assume that she meant that for the last 12 months, zero children have been trafficked over the southern border. Now, we're putting words in her mouth. We're doing a lot of work here to assume what we think she meant. But I just want to put something in y'all's face. This is the reality right here of the southern border. This is what those of us who don't rely on the screens to tell us what the border is like, who live here and who actually see this every day, this is the reality that most people who watch screens will never see, nor will they be told. So when we are told statements like this from our elected officials whose job it is to protect and secure and who should know the laws and the real stats. And in fact, when I shared some clips in my video about what DHS itself has reported regarding child trafficking cases in 2025, we definitely see a discrepancy here between the truth and what the screens are telling us to believe. And I just want to reinforce this message to all Americans. What they're telling us is not necessarily the truth. I think we've had a lot of evidence of that by now. This is when our discernment should kick in, logic as well, right? Because a statement like this is just void of all logic. Don't lose that connection to your intuition. They're the same ones that have been protecting the people behind the Franklin scandal and the Epstein files and all the other cases that you'll never hear about. Look, I'm a survivor of 20 years of cult abuse and child trafficking. I've dedicated my life to combat child trafficking. This is not a laughing matter to me. I have to kind of turn off my brain and play along sometimes when I'm unpacking this information so strangers on the internet can understand this problem and also work with us to help us solve this. Because we also have a lot of intentional opposition when our government officials don't seem interested in actually solving this problem. And I'm here to also ring the alarm bell and make sure it's very clear to people that the bad guys are not going to be honest with you about the problem or the solutions. So don't believe what you see on the screens. And number two, the bad guys are not going to hold themselves accountable, okay? So the talking heads and the PR-ness on the screens, you can ignore all of that. Has it been truthful? I mean, prove me wrong. All I'm saying is stick with facts. Don't be swayed by these narratives. Fact check them both logically and with evidence, not emotions, not party bias.